Hi, I'm going to show you how to make a zigzag panel card using the supplies from your Stamps and Mail Club kit or supplies that you have on hand. So if you are interested in Stamps and Mail Club, be sure to drop me a note and I can get you started. So let's get started on this card. I have the supplies here and they are pre-cut as part of the Stamps and Mail Club kit. I have this angled piece of paper here, and the way that this is done for you is to take a 12-inch piece of paper that is 5.5 inches tall, so 12 by 5.5, and then I marked one end of my paper trimmer, or marked one end of the paper on my trimmer at 1.5 inches, and the other end at 4 inches, and then just connect those two lines with my paper trimmer. And so now I have two angled pieces that are ready for this card. So I'm going to start off by putting the wide end at the left, and I'm going to make a Z fold and just bring this back over, keeping the bottom edges aligned until they are relatively equal. And I'm being very careful to keep this straight at the bottom, and then I'm just going to fold up and down the sides so that I have here my 3 panels ready to build our card on. Alright, so now I have the other pieces here and we will get stamping. I have my Lost Lagoon ink pad, and I'm going to grab the Work of Art stamp set here, and I want this splotch right here, although honestly it doesn't matter which one you use. And I'm going to have a row of splotches here that are sort of in a variety of colors from one pad by stamping once and stamping again and stamping again, so that as you go down the page you have some variation in the color. And that's actually a great technique when you stamp on another piece of cardstock and bring it over. It's called stamping off often. So I am going to use my Fast Fuse adhesive, which is like snail on steroids. When you use this, be sure that you don't overlap the edges of your card, because you want to make sure that you don't stick your card shut. So here's my last panel, and this piece of cardstock is cut just smaller to fit right there and make our card back. Alright, so pretty simple so far. I'm going to take my circle piece here and go ahead and do some stamping on there. I'm going to grab my zigzag stamp. We'll do that one once. I have this swipe here, and here I'll do my stamping off. I'm just going to stamp on my scratch paper before I stamp on here. There we go, so that I get something that's just a little tiny bit lighter. And then I'm going to use this little heart here, which is such a fun little extra accent, and I have it stamped right there. So there we have our pieces stamped. We need a greeting, and this stamp set is really cool. It has this U stamp, and you can do this in Lost Lagoon, but I'm going to grab my black tuxedo black pad here and go ahead and stamp it in my tuxedo black. So we'll put our U on there, and then I think we'll do just for you on this one. So stamp that just for right above. So now we have our panels stamped, and we can start assembling. So I have the Starburst framelit pieces that are pre-cut with the Stamps and Mail Club kit, and I'm going to go ahead and pop some Stampin' Dimensionals on the back here, peel those backings off, and stick those down. Okay, so there's one. I love the way these Starbursts mat with the circle punch. And then I have some pieces here to make sort of a little medallion part. So I'm going to go ahead and cut at an angle here in the center and then flip this around. So this gives us 2 banner tail pieces. And then I have a piece here, and I need 2 more banner tails, but I want them to be the sort of ribbon end kind, just like that. And they don't have to necessarily be even. You could even them up if you want to. But these guys are going to go together like this, and I'll just throw some snail adhesive on the back here and stick those. When you're working with the glimmer paper, it's just a little plasticky on the back, so sometimes you have to push a little harder than usual to get your snail to stick well. Alright, so here is how we're going to glue our pieces. Now, I'm going to go ahead and stick these here. I'm going to trim them up just a little on the back because these pieces are actually going to show on our card. So we'll kind of keep them a little bit neater because of the way our card is assembled. You could slide them between these two layers if you didn't want them to show it all. But I'm going to go ahead and grab these, kind of get some placement ideas, and then I'll put some Stampin' Dimensionals in here because why not? Alright, we'll get these two stuck together. And then we'll add another one here. When in doubt, use more dimensionals. Always a good policy. Alright, and then I'm going to stick our medallion center on. So now we have our piece here. And this is going to mount here, but we need to get this onto our card. So what you want to do is place your pieces here. The crumb cake piece is going to go onto the background paper, sort of like so. I'm going to slide it actually just a little off to the side. And then I'm going to layer this up here. So now you can kind of shift things up or down depending on where you want your attachment points to be. So I actually want this to adhere, I think right about there. So I'm going to leave my crumb cake there. I'm going to use my fast fuse because like I said, it's snail on steroids. It's really good stuff. And I'm going to go ahead and use that placement. Now be careful, make sure you didn't put adhesive above. Let's see, did I make it? All right. I put adhesive only down here. So you want to use a strong adhesive. The Tombow liquid glue or the fast fuse or sticky strip are good choices. And then I'm going to open this for a second, kind of look where my adhesive can go. So I sort of have the bottom half of this that I can use. And then before I stick it down, I'm actually going to hold it here against my front piece. Make sure I got the adhesive pointing down. And get that placed. And then just close my card gently so that it grabs it in exactly the right place. And I'll squish on the back side. And there you have it. A very fun panel card, triple panel Z card, using supplies from the Stamps and Mail Club kit and the gorgeous new Work of Art stamp set. So hope you can use this fun card design and make some creations of your own. I'd love to see them. Thanks for stamping with me.